I'm Radhika, founder and designer at Sakat, and we convert reclaimed teakwood into beautiful, sustainably handcrafted jewelry. We give these old wooden blocks a new life and form at Sakat.
Hi, I'm Sana and I'm a researcher and designer in the space of sustainable fashion. I run my eponymous label and we specialize in creating sustainable engineered fashion which is aesthetic, stylish and conscious.
So my name is Pratyush and I'm the founder of Pure, which is a luxury sustainable fashion brand where we are creating everything which is sustainable, and we keep everything within our circular ecosystem so that nothing reaches the landfill. And we are working with different materials which are sustainable, different methods like modular, and we are also working along with craft clusters in Gujarat, UP and Uttarakhand.
Hi, I am Sudhir Rajpur. I am the founder of the Chamar. Chamar is a brand from India which is handcrafted footwear, bags with the rubber.
Sustainability has been a part of our journey since the commencement of the brand. From reclaimed teakwood, the raw material, to the end of cycle of the product, we incorporate sustainability at every step. Our process is 100% handcrafted, and we use natural materials to color our jewelry. So at every step, even the packaging is sustainable, and it's made out of scrap cotton waste by the women we employ. So as I said, at every step we incorporate sustainability to reduce our carbon footprint even further.
I think the journey towards sustainability started very young for me. I was consciously, when I was in college, I started working on researching about sustainability, and that's where I developed a technique of cutting, which is called planar flux. It's influenced by concepts in maths and physics and merges it with fundamental garment making. So I think it really sort of strengthened my belief into what I really wanted to spearhead my career into, and it just sort of, it sort of grew from there, and it went on from being just a technique to becoming a brand in itself, and then eventually a movement. So I don't look at the brand as a label. I look at it more as a concept, as a movement that can bring people together, create a community around it, and so we can create actual change.
So it's been almost, I will say it's been almost a decade since my college days. My work was influenced by sustainability, and in general I believe sustainability is something which is a part of our culture, where we are where we practice sustainability somehow or the other without thinking about it. So it has been always an inspiration, and when I entered a fashion college, sustainability it inspired me more, and that's how the whole journey started.
The sustainability came through my journey, came through my life. I practice as an artist, and it came through my practice, and now it's become a brand.
So I'm a sustainability enthusiast, and a few years ago I chose to live a very zero waste and minimal waste life, and I started using chemical free laundry detergent, started following sustainable menstruation, and start planting trees, plantation drives and stuff. So in every aspect, started buying clothes from ethical brands, from sustainable brands, started questioning the transparency of everything. So in my own life, I have incorporated everything possible so that I can practice what I preach.
I think sustainability is a lifestyle choice, so it's a lot like how you would think of fitness, right? So I think for me it became about making first smaller changes. It also was heavily influenced by my work because I was seeing that what I was doing in sustainable fashion was impacting the way I was living my life and the choices I was making. So yeah, of course it is about your health, it's about what you put on your body and in your body. It's also a lot about empathy and kindness. So I think it becomes like a practice that becomes a habit. So that's the way I look at sustainability.
In everyday life, one thing that I avoid, it might be funny, but I don't use shower to take shower. Instead, I use tumbler and bucket to save water. That is a very important thing that I've been practicing since a very long time now. And I don't use shower gel again. I'm using soap and everything which is where I try to avoid plastic. And even if I use plastic, I try to reuse it as many times as possible. So that is a very important part of my sustainable living. And then of course I am into gardening and planting trees. So that is again it plays a very important role in sustainability.
Everyday life, I think the human life is like really, we have to think about current situation, about the sustainability point and how we are living, what is our lifestyle. This can be as a sustainability more important, I think. To lead a sustainable life, see my area is, I love art and craft, so I'm more spending time with the craft, meeting the people, going to Dara and sitting with them, hang out with them. So everyday life is this way.
I think in India only we have some brilliant brands doing work towards sustainability. And one of my favorite brands, which is a clothing brand, is 1111. They're doing brilliant stuff. They are working with Kala cotton, which is the indigenous cotton made in Kutch. And I think that is the future of the clothing industry.
There are a lot of brands that I am very inspired by, and Patagonia is one. And there are even Vivienne Westwood, I know that she does a lot with sustainability and was probably one of the first people who really started talking about it in luxury fashion. So yes, those are the people who have influenced the way I look at this industry, the way that we can transform it. There are also things like the UN is a body that I really admire for what they do, and I think that they can bring in policy changes. So, which is why it was a really big moment for me when I got to know I was, registered as part of the UN SDG Action Initiative, and I'm very proud of that achievement because for a brand that is still, I would say, small, has been able to get that recognition. So I feel like it encourages a lot of people around me also to take that step.
Of course, I'll say there are a couple of brands like Stella McCartney and Patagonia. So they are doing wonders in sustainability. And Patagonia, it's one of the oldest brand which is practicing sustainability. So they've always, they are a source of inspiration. And whenever I'm, working on my collection, so these two, brands, probably I go through their interviews and documentaries just to feel inspired before starting any collection.
Yeah, the international brand, I can see, I love this Goyard brand, which is really like silent simplicity there. There is not much they are not making advert or they are not making any lot of designs or something. It's simplicity is I love, that's why I love Goyard.
A designer can shape the future of the world, and a designer has that power to design in such a way that the waste is minimal, or at every step you can reduce your carbon footprint. So to the young designers, I would say just keep this aspect of sustainability in mind whenever you are creating a product, because it is very important to value material, to value the craft and the consider the end of life of a product. So it's very important that the young designers, the upcoming designers, take this into consideration.
I think it's just understand that you have a responsibility, and sustainable fashion is not boring. It's really fun. It's this large opportunity that you have to create something, because there's no rules written down yet. It's just us trying to find this pathway to having a world that doesn't sort of destroy anything in the process of us making something beautiful. So we can find our own ways to do that, and that's the beauty of this. So recognize that this is a massive opportunity to say this, to sort of speak your creative language, and find what is unique about yourself. And so yeah, this is a great time to be in this space, because there is incredible recognition for it, and there's a lot of access to sustainable materials, to sustainable people who endorse it as well. So, and this is one example of that as well. So yeah.
So for the young aspiring designers, I would say it's very important for them to understand the planetary boundaries when they are creating garments. So I feel since sustainability, it's a topic of discussion right now, but of course it has also become a part of many colleges' curriculum. So I believe they should take it very seriously. It's not something which is a fad, but it's a necessity, and this is something they should work upon when they are creating any single piece, because ultimately fashion is the second largest polluter. So they should work in a way that nothing ultimately reaches the landfill, and this is very important for them to build up their foundation, because sooner or later they are the ones who will be creating the fraternity, as in they are a part of it even now since they are studying. So the future is on their shoulders. So I believe it's very important for them to practice sustainability since they are in college now.
The message is this for the young designers. We are also the young designers and we are the young brand. So yeah, so I can share my experience to them. Like it's they have to do more experiment with the work. This is really important.